never seen an anime single-handedly revive a video game in my entire life. And that's exactly what Cyberpunk Edgerunners did for Cyberpunk 2077. If we take a look at the peak players for Cyberpunk, previously before the anime had came out, they were peaking at like 18, 19,000. After the anime came out, in the last 30 days, their highest player count was 136,000 people, and they are averaging well over their usual. They are back to almost like release day numbers, and that is insane for a game that's almost 2 years old at this point. And especially a game that has such a negative vibe around it like Cyberpunk, pulling these kind of numbers is insane. But we're not here to talk about the game. We're here to talk about the anime and what makes it so special. So Cyberpunk Edgerunners is phenomenal. It's honestly one of the greatest animes I've ever seen, and they did a fantastic job. You can definitely tell they put a lot of heart and soul into this when they were making it, and it just shows in the product. So let's go over some of the things that I really love about the anime, and then we'll talk about the negatives. So the one thing that I absolutely love about Edgerunners is that it's not its own standalone thing. It actually takes place in the Cyberpunk universe, and it has tie-ins to the actual game. So if you played the game, you could be like, you can pinpoint out things from the game in the anime, and there's actually some characters that you will see in the anime that you would have known in the game. So I really love how Edgerunners not only goes deep into the lore, but also expands on it and gives you more and more information about Cyberpunk 2077, which in itself has a really, really good storyline. But probably the thing that a lot of people really love about this is the visuals. The visuals are amazing. The fight scenes, the background scenes, the music itself, everything about this is just fantastic. Edgerunners has some of the best fight scenes I've ever seen. I'm talking like One Punch Man Season 1 level fight scenes. Now, spoilers ahead, just wanted to, throw that out there right now, but the one that stands out to me the most, besides the end fight scene, is the one that lasts like not even 30 seconds. It's where David, after, hawking out on his tremboloni sandwiches, where he goes into flash mode fighting this guy, and you see both David's perspective and what everybody else sees. So you see David going slow motion, making adjustments, and eventually killing him, and then it immediately transitioned to that whole thing that just happened, how everybody else sees it. And they did that so well, and I've never seen an anime actually pull that off. Usually when you see people fight, they don't really give you both perspectives. They usually either have the characters just fighting normally, but they just say, hey, they're fighting really, really fast, or they'll just be like blurs of light moving around. But Edgerunners did a fantastic job with this, and I really hope we see more of this, because to me, it's a really underrated aspect of anime. Like, it's very rare that you see people actually get fight scenes right. And at no point did Talk no Jutsu have to come out. It was all, realistic fight scenes. Well, as realistic as you can get for Cyberpunk anime. Next up is the dubbed. I would have never have known about this if people weren't just constantly praising about it, because when I first watched it, I watched it in subbed because, I am a sub elitist. But I kept hearing people say the dub was really good, so naturally I had to check it out, and I was very surprised with how good it is.
Those your fancy new leg implants? Looking damn good.
No more, all clear. Last one. Room behind you, target's there. Her, others too. All friendlies.
Roger, roger.
Usually when we get dubbed animes, in my opinion, things don't really match with the animation style and the whole tone of it. But for Cyberpunk, I gotta hand it to them. They handled the dub really, really well. And if I was forced to watch the dub first and not the subbed, I probably would have liked it just as much. So they can have the extra brownie points on that one. The next thing I love about Edgerunners is the storyline. There were a couple points in this where I was like trying to hold back my tears. It got sad at some points, it got real at some points, and there are some characters that you really grow an emotional attachment for, Rebecca, because they are just such a really, really well-written character. Dude, Rebecca was ride or die. She was the MVP, and she did not deserve what had happened to her, but I mean, it kind of fits the story, and it kind of fits the whole Cyberpunk theme, but she did not deserve it, and I want justice for Rebecca. Everyone go back and play Cyberpunk 2077 and kill Adam Smasher for me. At no point was I really disappointed. I was at first starting to think that this would be one of those things where the main character doesn't want to really kill because David never really grabbed a gun, but I really quick learned that I was wrong and that he was ready to get some shit done. And as much as I feel sad for the ending, I think that the way it ended really fits well with the whole Night City vibe and all the lessons you learn in Cyberpunk. So as much as it makes me sad, it does fit well with Night City and everything you do in Cyberpunk. So it makes sense. Even though I hate it and Rebecca deserves so much better, it does make sense. And speaking of Rebecca, there's no real characters that I absolutely hate or despise in this anime. Everyone is pretty likable and has their own little quirks. It doesn't feel like they're just copy and paste random anime tropes. Everyone feels like they're their own unique individual who happens to be going through some shit. The only real complaint I have about that is I wish some of the characters we would have got a little bit more fleshed out, but that kind of comes back into the cons, which I'll get to here in a minute. But there were no characters that I was like, God, I don't want this guy on screen again. He's really annoying. Everyone was a blast to watch on screen, whether it is David getting jacked up on roids, whether it's Lucy getting naked in the ice bath, or when it's Rebecca and her brother just being completely batshit weird. And the last really good thing I love about this, I think I might have said it before, is the soundtrack. There is not one miss. They are all bangers. Another one, another one, another one. The opening and the ending were fantastic. They're not like the best opening and ending I've ever seen in my entire life, but they are definitely up there. They fit with the game, they fit with the story really, really well, and they're just a really good bop to listen to, so you can't hate on that. Now, the only real complaint, and this is one that I've seen everybody else say about this anime, is that it kind of went by too fast. They only did 10 episodes, and I feel like if they would have done 12, they could have fleshed a couple things out here and there. I feel like the first episode kind of went fast. I feel like David getting into this whole situation and his mom dying kind of went over really, really fast. And I feel like when he first kind of joins the gang and everything, that also went by kind of fast. So I feel like there were some aspects of the story that kind of got a little rushed. Not to say that they were bad or anything. I still feel like they handled it pretty well. But I do think that if they would have maybe gotten 12 episodes, they could have flushed a couple things out here and there a little bit more. And I feel like that would have been a lot better. But still, this anime was amazing, and it's just so insane to see how one single anime can revive an entire video game and bring it back from the depths of hell. So that is what I think of Cyberpunk. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Do you guys love it? Do you hate it? And if you do love it, are you back to playing Cyberpunk? Because I know I am. I had to go back and kill Adam Smasher because we needed justice for Rebecca. The best part about Rebecca was, if this rumor is to be true, which I keep seeing that it is that they originally didn't want Rebecca to be in there because they didn't want any lollies in Cyberpunk. But in the end, Rebecca ended up being the best character of the anime. Dude, she was ride or die for David. She was his BFF. She was in his corner no matter what and only wanted the best for him. Why could he not see that? Listen, we here at the Rabbit YouTube channel are very do not lewd lollies. But goddamn, did Rebecca make one of the best characters and have one of the best character designs in the entire anime. So they need to somehow revive her or somehow find a way to put her in the game or anything related to her in the game so I can have it and cherish it forever, because in my opinion she stole the show for Cyberpunk Edgerunners and she needs her own DLC or something because she was the GOAT. So that's where we're going to end it. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. And if you guys have any other animes and or mangas you want me to check out, let me know down there below in the comments. And that's going to be all. See you in the next one. Peace.